Recording in progress.
Hello.
Hey, Theresa, Thelesa, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. I think your account manager is going to be on as well, but excited to meet you and kind of talk through some of the questions you had.
Okay. So basically, I'm trying to create a system here with these leads. I'm pretty new to Ylopo. I've been with you guys for about 3 months, and I did have like Commissions Inc. and a couple of other ones before. And then I ran into a problem where like I am the problem, meaning that I was kind of, like the typical agent who doesn't who doesn't follow up enough times, and especially when you're getting consistent leads in, it creates a snowball effect of bigger problems where you feel like you're wasting money, wasting time, and not really on the road and getting overwhelmed. So what I've done is I've hired ISAs. So I think over the past 2 years, I've hired different ISAs to do different functions. Mainly the function was to follow up and to handle certain objections that always come up on these, like, cold lead calls. And I haven't had very much success. So in joining Ylopo, of course, I'm pretty engaged in the community on Facebook and listen to what people are doing and what have you. So it's been like a pot of gold. And
Great.
so I hired Conversion Monster at the very beginning, and I thought it was going to be good because at least they're picking up the call within the first couple of minutes, and they're doing some sort of like, follow up and engagement. However, after a certain amount of time, I felt uncomfortable. I felt like, okay, like calls are very important because I'm on a team as well. So I kind of generate my own leads, and then I get leads from the team. And in my team lead calls with my team leader, he's kind of like, just keep calling. Like you need to call is better than text and email, whatnot. So when I see what Conversion Monster is doing, is like, okay, they're answering the call, they're forwarding me live leads. And then I'm kind of like, okay, and then what? Because a lot of the people I speak to, they're like ready further down the road. So I wasn't really comfortable with their follow-up. So my contract just ended with follow-up with Conversion Monster. And then I've moved on to Lead Whisperers now.
Okay.
So I'm only in like less than a week. Things are seem to be working okay so far. They're very familiar with you.
Oh,
I had
really?
Yeah, they are. And I had a call last week with Gabe, who gave me some tips because obviously he looked into my CRM. He noticed that I haven't been working follow up boss efficiently, haven't been changing the lead status, and I don't really have really good smart lists. So he gave me some tips. He helped me and tried to set some things up. And lead whisperers are very good. They know Ylopo and they know the system, the follow-up boss. So they've been helping to clean up my database.
Okay.
So things are starting to work out slowly but good. It's only been like I think two business days. So in saying that, like I want to be like a you. I want to have I eventually want a team. I want to be able to have like, a well-oiled machine that can just run. Obviously I'd have to like I don't want to be in the business. I want to be working on the business. So I want to I want to get to a point where I can just leave my mega team that I'm an agent on and just do my own. I don't see why I couldn't do it now. Maybe it's just more of a mindset thing, but yeah. So I'm looking for your advice. Where do I go?
Sure. Well, I think one of the greatest values that Ylopo offers is that the they're able to keep the consumer on your website. Um, and while that's exciting, what you've expressed is being able to capitalize on those opportunities. So to where, when they do come back, in a way that not only makes sense for you in your personality, but also your workflow, because you're busy, right? And when we don't necessarily enjoy calling strangers and talking to them about real estate, we typically will find other things to focus on, just because it's like the part of the business we'd prefer not to work. And so what I found with hiring an ISA, it's great when things are kept in perspective. The way that I would recommend looking at a company like, the ones you've hired is they are calling all of your opportunities to find the best opportunities. What you do with those opportunities once they find them is still up to you. So there's still a lot of conversion that needs to take place. If you expect that an ISA company is going to be better at conversion than you are, I have found typically the ROI just isn't there. And I say that because it's not I'm converting so many, so now I'm going to hire someone to help manage my load. And when they find one, I'll close it. It's I'm buying them because I don't want to do it. And I'm hoping that they'll be able to find people that are ready to go right now. And that's just not realistic, right? Because they don't have fairy dust, right? Like they can't on the phone say, I know you want to wait a year, but you should buy now. And then they hand them to you and they're ready to go now. And so understanding what a third party or anyone you hire is and isn't is super important, because when they find someone and they transfer them to you, you have got to put your game face on, right? And when I say game face, there's still a lot of lead conversion that needs to take place. So let me pause for a second. Does that make sense? Kind of what I'm saying, what they are and what they aren't?
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah. And how do you feel like you fall in that spectrum? Maybe your perspective of how you're currently viewing lead whispers, and do you feel like you're going to be changing the perspective, or is it what it needs to be right now?
Um, it will definitely change my perspective. I think yes, I did have high expectations. What you were saying before, it was definitely bang on. However, with like lead whispers, I'm hoping that their whole responsibility is to continue to call, hoping that they will continue to call until these folks are ready. Like some of these people might be a year out or so, but keeping being consistent and having a work structure where they're able to continue to make these calls until they're ready. Like I'm doing my part as far as giving, sending information of value. I'm also like, sending them listings, reaching out to them or answering any texts that they might have. So is that enough for like?
So I'm not saying it's not enough, but um, I want you to be more worried that they're going to miss out on working with a really great agent that's going to protect them. And I don't even know you, but you don't strike me as the person that would, after 5 minutes with you, that would sell someone a house, even though you knew it wasn't right for them, just because you were going to get a bigger bonus. You seem pretty conscientious and careful, which are great attributes. Am I perceiving you correctly? Do you feel like?
Sure, I'm more of like an analytical type person,
Okay,
and the
that's great.
less salesy. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So my book will be out end of this month. I was told I was too nice for sales back in 2011. And my journey as a salesperson and as a team really came about because I really like to help people. I like to teach. And when I would get them on the phone and they would give me, I didn't call it this at the time, but like an objection, right? Like, I don't need you right now. In my mind, I wasn't overcoming an objection in that moment. I was trying to help them. And then they said something that's like not logical. And I would just, well, what do you mean? And I wasn't trying to like convert a sale. I'm like, well, what do you mean you're not ready to talk to? Don't you want to learn? Now I know looking back that I was actually really closing in and like, really converting a lead, but that wasn't my intention. I was coming from this. I was trying to save them, help them, treat them the way that I would want to be treated if I was looking to buy. The challenge, conscientious, careful, analytical people tend to be more worried that they're bothering someone than they are worried that they're going to miss out on them. And what we have to do is we can't think about ourselves in that moment. And what I mean is, I don't want to bother them. I'm shy. I don't want to sound dumb. I don't want to be irritating. Me. What it needs to be is, this is the largest purchase of their life. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know that they can trust me. I know they can trust me. And I need to help them get out of their own way. I need to, like, figuratively speaking, save them from themselves, because this is the largest purchase of their life. And they deserve to have an agent that's going to advocate for them. And that advocacy starts when I call them and I can hear them want to get off the phone. So even when Lead Whisperers or your ISA company calls the lead and says, hey, I've got one for you, and you call them with excitement or high expectations, a lot of them, you're going to hear them and feel them want to get off the phone. Oh, yeah, I did say to call, but I'm not really serious. And if you're like most good people, you're not in the habit of telling others what to do, right? Like, you're not in the habit of like imposing your will on strangers, right? You're polite, and I would hope so, right? But in this moment, you have to kind of sidebar the fact that you can feel them wanting to get off the phone with you. And what you have to do by sidebarring that is you have to recognize they fundamentally misunderstand your role. See, they think they need to figure everything out, right? So they need to figure out the financing. They need to figure out the location, the school zones, what things to look for, how to not be taken advantage of. In their head, they're getting ready. And they think they need to get ready. And once they get ready, they call a realtor. And the realtor is there only to open doors. You're like a glorified Uberization in their mind. Like, please open door, please open door, please open door. When in all actuality, your greatest value to them as the consumer is helping them plan. And so even when you get these appointments, most of them you're going to feel them want to get off the phone with you. And you've got to change your behavior in that moment. And after a while, your behavior change will change your instincts. Right now, your instincts, if you're like my other agents, your instincts, when you feel them wanting to get off the phone, my other agents will say something like, okay, well, do you mind if I email you some listings? Oh, okay, great. Have a good day. I'll call you next month. Bye. And they hang up. and I had to help my agents to see that in that moment, they were more focused on their own anxiety than they were helping that person. And the way that they help that person is they're curious, genuinely curious. So you get an appointment transferred over to you. You take the call. You call the lead, and the lead says, "Yes, I spoke to your assistant, but I'm not really that serious. I was just dreaming." You have a choice in that moment to either will yourself to keep the conversation going in an authentic way, or allow your instincts to get you to quickly hang up the phone. The fork in the road in that moment literally is the difference between making a lot of money on leads from Google and Facebook and not. That, if I was to oversimplify and melt it down, it's really about that moment. Now, what my agents have done is we have these questions behind their computer screen. And it's so funny, like if you were to listen to some of these calls when they first started trying to do this, they call, "Hey, you spoke with my assistant. Looks like you're looking to buy a home in Virginia Beach. Excited to talk to you about it. Oh, no, I'm not interested." And you would hear the agent kind of go, "So what would you like to change when you move about where you live?" Like, it was obvious that they were reading, because it was so unnatural for them to not hang up the phone. But the question, I'm sure you're not ready to move, but what are you hoping to change about where you live? It allows the consumer to complain about where they live. And so it's a discovery question. And the lead is now discovering what they want while they're talking to you. Some other questions in this same vein that get you on the topic of the important topics that we need to know, but without asking it. Because remember, they think they're not ready for you, and when you ask them a question they can't answer, or they're not going to answer affirmingly, you're basically reestablishing the fact that they're not ready for you. So if I ask them, "Have you been pre-approved for a loan?" somebody that's still figuring it out is not going to appreciate that question. In fact, you're confirming, "I'm not ready for you. Listen, I'm not ready. I'm not serious." And then I'm going to say, "Okay, no problem, because I'm not wanting to push anybody. Can I call you next month?" And that gets real old real fast. And if you're like most agents, you do your follow-up calls and you say, "Seeing how the search is coming." And that works once. Because as an adult, I've got 4 children. I'm working all day. I'm making dinner. I'm helping them get ready at night. The last thing I want to do is think for you, the professional. I don't want to have to think about how my search is. I don't know how my search is. Don't ask me how my search is, right? And so then what ends up happening is you're doing all this work and you're not making any money. So what has to happen is when you get them on the phone, you feel them wanting to get off, you just got to remind yourself they don't understand. And then you start asking questions. When you move, what are you hoping to change about where you live? And then when they tell you, see if there's a moment for you to develop rapport, authentic rapport. Not, "Oh, do we shop at the same grocery store? Or our kids go to the same soccer league?" Or, like all these, like, we're trying to build rapport, and it's so, I call it fake friends, because it's like so disingenuous. I don't even have time for my real friends. That's what I say, that, it takes me a week to call them back. But after that question, and I've developed rapport, I'll ask, instead of "Have you been pre-approved?" I'm just going to start to go down that road. "Hey, do you happen to have a friend or a family member that's in the financial industry or the mortgage business?" And I don't care how they respond. Yes or no doesn't really matter to me. I'm going to then say, "Let me tell you why I'm asking. This is probably the largest purchase of your life, and you're probably kind of guessing on what you can afford. You shouldn't do that. What you need to be doing is talking with someone that isn't going to charge you for any advice. I happen to know somebody, I can connect you. And another question that isn't going to evoke the "I'm not ready to talk to you" response is, have you had a chance to look at homes with anybody else, any other agents yet? If they say no, say, "Oh, okay, I was just curious." If they say yes, congratulate them. "Oh, that's great. I'm so excited that you've been able to look at a few. That's great. You're already starting. Do you happen to remember signing anything that requires you to work with them?" So now what I've done is I've been able to find out what kind of home do you want? Have you been pre-approved? Do you have an agent? Without asking those questions. And because I got to be sensitive to the fact that they don't think they're ready for me. And then the follow-up is not checking in, checking in. The follow-up is, I'm calling you because I had a property that I wanted to send you, and I wanted you to tell me what you like and dislike so that I can help you. Or I'm calling you because I saw a blog article on the process of home buying. I thought it looked interesting. Didn't know if you wanted me to text it or email it. I'm calling you because I wasn't sure if you're in town this weekend. I have a list of open houses. I thought maybe I could send it, and maybe if you're interested, we could just, casually just go look at a couple. I know you're not ready to buy yet. But always have a reason for the follow-up. Because if I don't have a reason for the follow-up, I'm accidentally telling them, "Hi, yes, this is Barry with Better Homes and Gardens. I'm calling today to see if you're ready to tell me how to do my job." That's what I'm accidentally doing when I'm checking in, touching base. So I've got to lead them. Now, I'm talking about middle of funnel leads. And a lot of times we hire people that are in the middle of their journey, but we hire an ISA in hopes of them finding the bottom of funnel. And they will find some. But the real ROI is found in talking to the people that don't think they're ready for you, because then you inject yourself in the process, you start adding this value, you're going to win them to you because nobody else is doing this. Everybody else is trying to find that one Zillow lead or that one Ylopo lead that's ready to go right now so that I can just be customer service. What kind of home do you want? Oh, you want a ranch? Great. Okay. What city? Virginia Beach? Wonderful. Have you been approved? Yes. Great. Great. Would you like fries with that? Right? Like very just back and forth instead of consultative in nature. Okay. So I just talked for a really long time. What questions can I answer about this?
No, what you said is great, and it's like absolutely bang on, and it's things I've heard before from my team lead who harps on this like on every single coaching call.
Yeah.
So the thing is that, so really, like, I still have this ISA thing in my mind. Are you saying like I need to get rid of that? Like Power
No.
ISA does, I spoken to Power ISA, and I almost signed up with them, and they're all more about conversion. So like it seems like these companies specialize in different things. Like what I get the interpretation from them is that they're more of like it's not like a replacement of me, but it's more like kind of like say a buyer agent on a team, and they kind of do the conversion and nurturing that way. Like they're more about sales closing versus just ISA, how are you doing, blah blah blah.
Sure.
And if true or not, like I think you use Power ISA, at least I think they told me that.
Yeah, at one point I did. I was helping train their people, and I wasn't using them permanently. I was just testing, helping them learn, and helping their people kind of adapt. But yeah, great company. All of them actually I speak highly of, and I don't think it's a mistake for you to purchase someone to sit at a computer all day and try to talk to people on your behalf. But I know that you're interested in making money, and I want that for you as well. And the way that you're going to make money is you're going to recognize that most of the people that your ISAs, because you're generating middle of funnel opportunities. And so most of the people that the ISA is going to convert, you can't be surprised when most of them, you're going to feel them wanting to kind of just get off the phone. Like the exception would be they're really excited to talk to you right now because they need to move in the next 60 days. We're excited when that happens, but you can't scale your business off of that, because really what you're doing is you're relegating your career to luck. Some people are ready, some people aren't. Well, if they're ready, great, service them. If they're not, you need to learn how to monetize that middle of funnel opportunity and become a value to them. If you'll do this, this is the difference between selling 3 or 4 homes a year from online leads to 30. It's substantial because there's not as many people that have figured it out yet. There's more people that are like, yeah, I think I'm going to do this. So I think it's a great idea that you hire someone, but I don't want you to relegate the responsibility of selling to the ISA. That still needs to be on you. And when I say that to you, that changes things a little bit, because now it's like, okay, wait, they aren't going to be my savior. They're going to be a support to me, but ultimately you have to hone this skill. And if you decide that this skill is not for you, then in real estate, your other options, I mean, there are other ways of making money in real estate that don't involve online lead gen. But I'll tell you, if you can master online lead gen like I did, the opportunities are abundant. It's a lot easier to grow a team when you have the ability to close online leads.
Okay, perfect. So also, as I mentioned before, I am on a team. So I get leads from a team, plus I'm doing this as well. Like, you can't always rely on your team leads, all the time. So, and now I'm debating whether I should be actually staying on a team, because I mean, the ROI doesn't make sense. Like if I'm doing,
Well, I'm sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
Well, so I always tell people that are looking to start a team is that you have a really, it's like this great paradox, because on the one hand, the bulk of the people that are going to stick around are more employee mindset type folks. They come to work, they want you to tell them what to do, they want the opportunities, and then they're going to do it. They're going to do the work. And you're going to be tempted as a business owner to complain that they're waiting to be told what to do. Okay. But then the opposite extreme is someone that has that like thick entrepreneurial vein stream running through them, that the sky's the limit. They never stop dreaming, and they're going to work for themselves, and they're going to be one of the best agents you have, but more than likely they're going to leave, because if I hired you, you might be really happy here for a while. You'll learn a lot, you'll grow, and then you'll say, okay, hey, Barry, listen, I'm going to go start my own thing, right? And so for you, the fact that you're even buying your own leads, to me, tells me everything I need to know, because I assume the team lead is still going to take a sizable chunk of the leads that you're paying for?
50%.
Or no? How much?
50.
Right. So it just doesn't, right. And that's normal, by the way. It's normal for teams to discourage an agent finding their own way of making a living. They need you to stay dependent on what they're doing. That's how they survive. I'm not mad at them for it, but that's just kind of how it works. And so not only are you spending money on Ylopo, but now you're also spending money on an ISA. Even if you close a deal, you're still probably not making money, because you have half of the commission now. And that half of the commission is now gone to a team leader. Mm-hmm. Are you closing any of the team leads?
I've closed a couple. Like, I wouldn't say very many. I've been on the team for about 4 months and I've received 20 leads. But like at the end of the day, like I'm a buyer's agent on the team, and like the ones who are the listing agents are like doing great, because listings in this market, they sell.
Yeah.
You don't have to do anything, but like those people who need to sell also need to buy, so they're having an easier time. But when you're starting off on the team, just strictly a buyer agent in this market, like I'm finding it challenging, especially with the demographic of the leads I'm getting. It's not the same demographic as I don't know. Like I've been around for a long time, and I know there are certain demographics who are harder to convert.
Yeah, I got you. Well, what area are you in, by the way?
I'm in Toronto, Canada area.
Okay. Yeah, Toronto's a tough market.
It is.
Yeah. Your home prices have gone up a lot. Well, I'm not going to tell you, because I don't know enough about your circumstances to tell you what the next step is for you. But I will tell you, you are not operating like someone that's on a team.
No, I know that. I know that.
So, what I do as a team owner, I ask the person where they want to be in 5 years. I got this from the CEO of LinkedIn. And I tell them, before you answer, I don't want you to tell me what you think I want to hear. It's okay that if in 5 years you want to start your own business and it has nothing to do with me. I really want to know where you're headed. And while you're here with me, I'm just going to add value in your journey. And when the time has come for you to go into that next phase, you're going to receive nothing but praise from me. And what I've found in doing that is that I get the best out of people, whether they stay with me for a little while or not. I've been told that's not normal. I hope that you find that that's your experience where you're at. But I don't think as a new agent, it's wise. If you knew how to convert these leads, as soon as you know how to convert leads on your own, like as soon as that's like, all right, I got it, then I think at that point, if you want to leave, I would just leave. But if you're still trying to master your craft, I don't know if you should do it just yet. So
Okay. That's a fair enough point. Do you have any sort of training or some sort of a coaching in order for me to master these online leads?
Yeah. So I created a course for new agents on my team, and I gave it to Ylopo. It's called the Masterclass. And so if you go to ylopo.com/masterclass, it's the one where it's just a picture of me by myself. And are you in Follow Up Boss?
I am, yeah.
Okay. So that course has been designed off of 12 smart lists, and they're numbered. Now, you don't need to change all your smart lists, but understand that what I'm going to teach you, my goal in this class was to help a new agent that knows nothing. After they finish the course, when they sit down and open their computer, it gives them a very clear process of what to work on. And the lists only show people that need the agent to call them. And then the scripts are matched to the list. So like list 3, for example, is old leads that are still important and they're still active, important like Y priority tags. So what do you say to that person if they actually answer the phone? And so I think it's a worthwhile course to take, but understanding you can get the list from Follow Up Boss for free, but just understand that there's that little nuance that might not make sense at first.
Okay.
And Thelesa, I put the masterclass link in the chat if you see it there. If not, I can just go ahead and shoot it over to you in an email.
No, that's okay. I took a picture of it. Thank you.
Okay, cool.
Well, we're just at time. Do you have any other questions that maybe I can answer for you or go over?
No, I think that's everything. Thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure. Every Wednesday at 12 o'clock East Coast time, we have office hours. Has anybody told you about that?
Maybe not. I've been to a couple different training sessions. I don't know what days they are.
It's every Wednesday. It's a live session, and we're just hanging out. There's no agenda. Okay. So it's myself and 3 other realtors and residents that Ylopo's hired that are users and running a business. So we're just hanging. Like you can just pop on and ask me a question. There is the reason why I'm bringing it up.
Okay.
I also put that in the chat as well.
Thank you.
Thanks,
I took
Tom.
So you said your book is coming out in the next couple of weeks. What's your book about?
It's so the book is called Too Nice for Sales, and it's basically the last decade of my life, what it experiences that I've had that taught me something about sales and how it's impacted the scripts that I'm using, and then what scripts I'm recommending and using, why I'm using them, how to implement them, and all that. So it's a story, but it's designed to teach you how to convert leads.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for
Yep.
all of your, and I look forward to implementing some of these items here. And yeah.
Sounds good.
This.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.
Have a great day, you guys.
All right. Bye.